Please stand by. There we are. Hey everybody, Spokane Steve, and it's time for Strat-O-Matic Baseball. And there's Simon. Hey Simon. Better today, thank you. Hope you're well. A couple things to go over today. I actually went over the standings and leaders yesterday, but I'm going to do that again today as not much has changed. Mostly for Simon's benefit, because I know he wanted to see that. And hello Ron, welcome Ron. Hope your day is going well. April 18th, 1966, there were only 2 games scheduled. We played one of them yesterday, Los Angeles at Houston. The other one is the Cincinnati Reds at the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's the one we're going to play today, and it's the first of a 4-game series. And that's why you see the giant Luke Walker card here, a computer-only card. Walker was the last player to make the Pirates out of spring training, and with 15 games scheduled in a row, they're going to give the youngster a start here today. Walker, a left-hander. Joey J will get the start for the Reds. Joey, a 2-time 20-game winner for the Reds in his younger day. He's closer to the end of the line here. I had looked this up earlier, but I'm going to check it again. I'm not in a huge hurry today anyway. Hopefully you're not either. Jay, 20-game winner in 61 and 62. Yes, in fact, I think he was in the advertisement for the very first Strat-O-Matic set in a magazine somewhere. Something about Joey J, 20-game winner. Which year did they win the pennant? It must have been that year, so it wasn't 61. Must have been the 62 cards. Anyway, this is his 66 was his last year in the bigs. In fact, the Reds would end up trading him to Atlanta. I think they might have even sold him to Atlanta. They didn't get much for him. He was traded for, well, they did actually. They got Hank Fisher from Atlanta in August. And Fisher, well, that's not true either. Fisher was near the end of his career too. So not much of a trade, really. I mean, not a big trade. In 62. Yeah. No, 66. April 18th, today. The game day today, I mean. Yes. Got it. Okay, before we get underway, I got a few new people here anyway, so let's go over this. Here we've got the standings, okay, in the American League. Minnesota and Baltimore at 4-1. Cleveland and Detroit a half game back. California 500 at 2-2. Everyone else bunched pretty close. Yankees 1-5. It's so early. The Yankees at 1-5 are only 3.5 out. In the National League, Philadelphia off to a somewhat surprising 5-0 start. They were a good club. In real life, of course, it was a Dodger-Giant battle that year with Pittsburgh a close third, and that's holding true so far. They're all bunched. Atlanta also over 500, and 3 teams still winless, including today's Cincinnati Reds, the poor Cubs, 0-6. In the offensive leader department, in the American League, 4 players have 3 home runs. Conigliaro, Colavito, Willie Horton, and Dick McAuliffe. Willie Horton leads the league in runs batted in with 9. There's Blair and Pepitone with 7. Boog Powell, Conigliaro, Colavito, McAuliffe, and Bobby Richardson have 6. Over in the National League, only 3 players have hit 3 home runs in the first week. Aaron, Stargell, and McCovey, kind of 3 names you'd expect to see there. Mays suspiciously missing from the list, but it's early. Dick Allen's your RBI leader with 9, tied with Horton for the Major League lead. Aaron with 8. Bill White, Willie Stargell, Bob Bailey, Willie McCovey with 7. Jim Lefevre and Don Clendenin with 6. I didn't do any pitchers. At this point, you've got a handful of pitchers tied with 2 wins. You've got a handful of pitchers tied with 2 saves. That should separate a bit by the second or possibly even the third week. Now to this one. Walker, he's the home pitcher. Okay, we're going to have to do this differently because I've got this giant Walker card for now. Here's the lineups for today's ball game. For Cincinnati, it will be Tommy Harper in center field, batting leadoff. Pete Rose, third base, bat second. Vada Pinson will bat third and play right field. Tony Perez is playing first today again. He's in the cleanup spot today. Darren Johnson in left field hits 5th. Leo Cardenas, the shortstop, hits 6th. Tommy Helms will move up to the 7th spot and play second base. Johnny Edwards will do the catching today. Who was their regular catcher? Pavletic. Pavletic gets the day off. Edwards, the catcher today, hits 8th, and Jay hits 9th. For the Pirates, Matty Alou, 1966 batting champion, leads off and plays center field. Gene Alley at shortstop hits 2nd. Roberto Clemente, right fielder, bats 3rd. Willie pops Stargell in the cleanup spot in left. Don Clendenin bats 5th and plays first base. Bill Mazeroski, the Gold Glove second baseman, hits 6th, with Bob Bailey down at 3rd batting 7th. Jim Pagliarone to do the catching and hit 8th, and Walker hitting 9th. So we're about ready to go. I'm still screwing around with reading glasses. I got a pair at Target last night I'm not happy with. They're going back. So I'm back to these original ones here. They'll have to do for now. Harper steps in. Walker's ready to go. The left-hander gets his sign from Pagliarone. Oops, and I've already dropped a dice and I haven't even rolled one yet. Walker, the sign from Pagliarone, the windup, and the first pitch of the game. That's a 5-10 against the right-hander. It's a grounder to third base X. That's going to be Bailey. Bailey is a 4E21 down there. And here's the play. On an 11, that'll go to the error frequency. So on a 21, we got a roll of a 6, and Bailey can't come up with it. That's going to be an error to start off the game. So E5, an error on Pittsburgh. And Harper's aboard. Harper, very fast. He'll have to be held on. To make matters worse, Luke Walker has a +9 hold, so he's not holding anybody on. Harper becomes a 20, -2 for the held. He's a 1 through 18 if he were to get the lead. And with that kind of a chance, he's going for it. 2 through 5 or 11. 7, he does not establish a good lead. What would his second number be? 13, 9. That would still give him a 20. -4, he'd be a 16. So he's a 1 through 16 on his back number. We're going to give Rose a shot at it, but he may steal on his back number. Rose, the walker from the stretch. Rose batting right-handed against the lefty. The pitch is a 2-5, and that's a grounder to short. Maybe he should have stolen because that's going to be Alley to Mazeroski to first, double play. So Rose bounces into the double play. Great turn by Mazeroski to nip the speedy Rose. And with 2 down, here's Vada Pinson. Walker from the windup now. The pitch to Pinson on a 4-8 against the left-hander, and he walks him. So Pinson's aboard. Pinson has great speed. He'll have to be held on. And he's a 1 through 18, so he's going to try for the lead on a 2 through a 7, and 9, he does not get it. Same situation with him, 13, The most it can be is 5, so I was wrong about the first guy. Plus 9, it's a 5, so that's an 18. Held minus 4 is a 14. That would be the correct number. For Harper, it would have actually been 13 plus 5, same thing. So with him held on, Perez is going to bat away against the left-handed Walker, who delivers from the stretch now. On a 1-9, swung on and missed strike 3. And down goes Perez. Walker didn't give up any hits, but there was an error and a walk. No runs. And we go to the bottom of the first. Reds nothing, Pirates coming up. So we'll have to move Walker out of the way for the time being. Joey J will take the mound, the right-hander for Cincinnati. And here's Matty Alou to lead things off for Pittsburgh. Alou, a left-handed hitter. As I said previously, he batted .342 in real life that year. Jay with the windup. Here's the pitch to Alou on a 1-6. That's going to be ripped into right field. Over to cut it off is Pinson. He'll hold him to a long single. So on a 1-6, double to 12, the roll is a 14. Alou's an asterisk 15. Jay also does not have a good hold. He's a plus 5. Edwards a 0. So that's going to be 5, 20, 18 held for Alou. Neither of these pitchers very good at all at holding runners. So Alou's going to try for a lead, 3 through 8. And he's got the 8. 15, what did I say he was? 20. 18, there he goes on a 1 through 18, and he's stolen it. So Matty Alou singles and promptly steals second here in the bottom of the first. And Gene Alley still up there. Jay's next pitch to him is a 6-6, and he walks him. And doesn't that figure? How often does that happen after you steal a base? The next batter gets on anyway. And it was pointless. They'd have first and second either way. On the other hand, had Harper tried to steal and got it in the first, maybe Rose wouldn't have been able to hit into the double play. You never know. And greetings, Bob Cole. Welcome. Yeah, things are pretty good. Looking up. I think you might be right. Cincinnati 0-3. What is Pittsburgh's record? 4-1, that's right. The Reds still looking for their first win of the young season. So first and second, nobody out, and here's Roberto Clemente. So Jay's in a jam already here from the stretch. The pitch to Roberto on a 1-5. He struck him out. Oh my, Clemente swings and misses, and there's one down. And here's Pops. Pops with a ton of power, especially against right-handers. Here's Jay's pitch to him. That's a 3-11 grounder to second base. That's going to be Helms. He's got it. His only play is to first. And both runners will move up. So second and third, 2 down. And here's Don Clendenin. Jay gets the sign. Here's the pitch, a 1-7, and he walks him. That's 2 walks in the inning by Jay, and the bases are loaded. Bases loaded, 2 down. Bill Mazeroski strides to the plate. Jay gets his sign from Edwards, and here's the pitch. That's going to be a 2-7. Fly to center, playable. That'll be Harper. He drifts to his left a bit and makes the catch for the out. And the Pirates leave the bases loaded. 1 hit and a couple of walks, and we're scoreless after an inning. And greetings, Gary. Welcome. Thank you for joining me, joining us. Looks like we've got a loaded chat room today. If you're in there and I don't know who you are, please take a moment and say hello. I appreciate it. Okay, top of the second. No score. It's Johnson, Cardenas, and Helms for Cincinnati. As Walker goes into the windup, the left-hander delivers to Johnson on a 6-6, and he walks him. S5 for Walker. I do not expect Walker to get very deep into this game, to be honest with you. Stranger things have happened, but this is not a good card. If I were playing this team in a tournament, I'd have somebody warming up already in the bullpen. So he walks Johnson. Here's Cardenas from the stretch. Walker's pitch is a 2-8 against the lefty, and that's going to be a pop-up left side. That's Gene Alley for the play, and there's one down. So pop up to short for Cardenas, and here's Tommy Helms. And Walker from the stretch. Pitch to Helms is a 1-11 against the left-hander. That's a single to center field. That's an open single. Johnson can try to go to third. Center fielder is a Lou, a +2. That'll help him. He's a 1-12, 1-14 to third with one out. He's going for it. Here he goes. And he's in there. So Cincinnati aggressive on the bases here. First to third. They've picked the only Pittsburgh outfielder that does not have a cannon arm, a Lou. We know about Clemente. And Stargell with the right field is -3 and left. But they found the center fielder, and now it's first and third, one out. Pirates will play back. They're looking to get a ground ball here. Johnny Edwards, the backup catcher, lefty on lefty. Here's the pitch on a 3-9. He struck him out. Walker fans Edwards. There's two down, and now the pitcher will come to bat. Jay, a switch hitter, kind of rare for a pitcher. He'll be batting righty against Walker. Here's the pitch, a 4-9 to the right. He gets a grounder to shortstop X. That'll be slick fielding Gene Alley, a 2E17. Here's the play on a 16. Oh, he's right there and throws him out. Nice play, Gene Alley, and Walker gets out of it. No runs a hit, they leave a pair. And we go to the bottom of the second, still scoreless. Here's Joey J now. Jay was not great that year either, a 5.05 run average. Again, it was his last year. For Luke Walker, just getting started. He only worked 10 innings that year in real life, so he must have made the team out of spring training, had a start or two, and then they sent him down. That would be my guess. I didn't do the research. Jay ready to go now. Bottom of the Pittsburgh order. Here's Bob Bailey to lead things off. The windup in the pitch on a 3-8 against the righty, and Bailey works out the walk. So a leadoff walk to Bailey. Bailey, not held, would be an 18 if he can get the lead. God, this pitcher, these two starters today with their holds, they're going to have to hold him on. He'd be a 16, and he's going to try for it anyway. A 4 or a 6? 5, he does not get it. So Pagliarone will hit away. Jay from the stretch. Here's the pitch on a 1-7. And with the runner held, that's going to be a +A, ground ball A+. That becomes a single with a two-base advance as Pagliarone hits it into the hole. Bailey takes third, and the Pirates are in business here with first and third and nobody out. They do have the pitcher coming up, so we'll see how the Reds want to play it. Walker, a C bunter. They're going to play back. Pittsburgh could squeeze, but Bailey's very slow, so Walker's just going to lay it down to try to stay out of the double play. And here it is, a 9 on a C. Oh my God, they've got the runner going from first to second. So Pagliarone's forced. Walker bunted it a bit too hard. Edwards able to nip the lead man 2-6. And Edwards is on first now. Runner at third holds. And with one away, Matty Alou will be the hitter. Alou singled his first time up. First and third, one down. Just getting underway here. Jay from the stretch. Pitch to Matty, a 2-8. That's a grounder to first base. That's going to score a run. That'll be a force play. That's going to go 3-6 back to first, not in time. So Perez fields it. Down to Cardenas, back to first, not in time. The run will score. It's 1-0 Pittsburgh. That's going to go 3-6 on the force. That forces Walker. Alou's at first, and he also gets a run batted in on that. 2 down, 1-0 Pirates, and here's Gene Alley with a runner on first, Alou. Of course, Alou could try to steal again. 20. Held 18. Yeah, he's going to try for the lead. 3 through 8. He's caught on an 11. 8. He's in there. 1 through 18. Here goes Alou. He's in there. He's stolen it. That's the second steal of the game for Matty. So both of these teams taking advantage of the opposing pitcher's rather horrible moves to first base so far. And here's Roberto with a runner in scoring position. The pitch from Jay on a 1-6. That's a fly ball to center. Playable. That's going to be Harper to make the play. And that will... Whoops. No, I'm sorry. That's Gene Alley hitting. On a 1-6, he strikes out. I beg your pardon. Flipped that card just a bit too soon. Anyway, it's a run for Pittsburgh on one hit. They leave a man. There was a walk and a stolen base. Stolen base... This time did not lead to a run. Oh, Alou drove in the run on a force play. Okay, so 1-0 after 2. Here's Luke Walker now. Top of the order for Cincinnati. As Walker gets ready to work, it's Harper, Rose, and Pinson. Walker, his windup. And the pitch to the plate, a 1-9. It's a tapper down to short. That's going to be Gene Alley. He gobbles it up and throws him out. And there's one down. Here's Rose now. Rose bounced into a double play in the first inning. Switch hitter batting righty as Walker delivers. A 1-7. That's a fly to left field playable. That's going to be Stargell. He's right there in his tracks and makes the catch. And quickly there's 2 away. Here's Pinson now. Pinson walked in the first. Lefty on lefty. Walker comes set on a 2-10. He strikes him out. So Walker pitching surprisingly well, I'd have to think. He's held the Reds scoreless for 3. 1, 2, 3 go the Reds. Pirates leading 1-0 come to bat in the bottom of the third. As Jay gets ready to work, I'll have a little sip of tea. I may have to heat that up. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put a little microwave action on this. And with the microwave directly behind me, we can get right underway here. It'll be Clemente, Stargell, and Clendenin, the heart of the Pittsburgh order here in the third. Jay with the windup, and here's the pitch to Roberto. A 5-7 against the righty. That's going to be a double to 10, and that's going to be into the right center gap. Clemente rounding, he's in with a double. So a leadoff double for Clemente. And the Pirates are in business here in the third. It was Stargell coming to bat and Clendenin on deck. Jay looking in to get his sign from Edwards. Here's the pitch to Pop. That's a 3-3 against the righty. It's a ground ball to first. That's Perez. He's going to have to take it to the bag himself, and Clemente will advance to third on the out. So the Pirates now, with the runner at third and one down, Cincinnati will have to bring the infield in. Well, they don't have to, but they're going to. And here's Clendenin. Jay, the full windup. The pitch to Don on a 6-5. It's a grounder to third base, B. And that's going to be fielded by Rose. And he's got Clemente off a third now. He throws to Edwards. They've got Clemente in a rundown. Bailey makes the... Rose makes the tag. Sorry about that. That's going to be a 5-2-5 force. Clendenin safe, and they get the lead man. So it's a big play for Pittsburgh with the infield in. Or for Cincinnati, god damn, for Cincinnati with the infield in. That's a bad play for Pittsburgh. So to summarize, since I totally screwed that up, Clemente doubled. Stargell grounded out to first, Clemente taking third. Then with the infield in, Clendenin hit one down to third. They got Clemente off the bag. Got the out there. Clendenin safe at first. So runner on first, two down, and here's Mazeroski. Jay from the stretch now. On a 1-6, he singles with a two-base advance. So a base hit into right. Clendenin's going to steam into third. And that'll be a single for Bill Mazeroski. Runners at the corners, two down, and here's Bob Bailey. Bailey walked his first time up as Jay comes set and delivers from the stretch. That's a 3-12, and he draws the walk, and the bases are loaded. So, oh my, how big is that play now with Clemente getting caught off of third base? Pagliarone, bases loaded, two down. Jay looks in to get the sign. Here's the pitch on a 3-4. It's going to be a comebacker. Jay has it. Takes a couple steps towards first. Flips to Tony Perez, and that'll do it. So the Pirates leave the bases loaded. Two hits. There was a walk. But they missed a big chance there, and after one complete, it's 1-0 Pirates. I'm going to grab that tee here as we move along to the fourth. Walker ready to work. I'm going to have to move him over. Hopefully you can see it. It'll be Perez, Johnson, and Cardenas here for the Reds. Perez struck out in the first inning. Walker, the windup. Pitch to Tony is a 2-9. That's a tapper down to third. That's going to be Bailey. Throws across in time, and there's one down. Darren Johnson now. He walked in the second inning to lead off the inning. Walker, the windup, and the pitch. On a 2-5 against the left-hander. It's a grounder to second. That's playable for Mazeroski. Routine for the Maz, and there's two down. And that'll bring up Cardenas. Full windup in the pitch. That's a 3-8 against the lefty. Tapper down to third. That's Bailey again. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Walker. And is that something or what? Walker's retired the last 8 batters to face him. I mean, look at this card. Computer-only card, by the way, for those of you that weren't here at the beginning. Printed that out for my Windows game. And Walker will be leading off here for the Pirates in the bottom of the fourth. He's a left-handed batter. Jay, the windup in the pitch. On a 3-9, that's a tapper down to third. That'll be Pete Rose. He makes the throw across the diamond, and there's one down. Back to the top of the order, Matty Alou. Alou, 1 for 2, already has 2 stolen bases today. And here's the pitch from Jay. on a 2-12. It's a fly to center. That's going to be playable for Harper. He makes the catch, and quickly there's 2 down. And that'll bring up Gene Alley, 0 for 1 with a walk. Jay the windup. Pitch to Gene is a 2-12, a tapper down to second, fielded by Tommy Helms. Flips over to Perez at a 1-2-3 inning for Jay. And after 4 complete, it's 1-0 Pittsburgh. And boy, when you look at these 2 starting pitchers, this is not the game you would have expected, is it? I would think not. We're in the 5th now. Walker in S5. Jay is 6. So Walker's already in his 1st inning of endurance, possible fatigue. Bottom of the order for the Reds, Helms, Edwards, and Jay. Walker with the windup. Here's the pitch. On a 2-12 against the lefty. He hits him. Oh my God, Helms hit by the pitch. He jogs down to first. He will not be held on, and Johnny Edwards will be the hitter. Pittsburgh, knowing that Walker does not go deep, they're going to get Pete Mickelson up already. Pete Mickelson warming in the Pittsburgh pen. Here's Edwards. Runner on first, nobody out. From the stretch, the pitch to Johnny Edwards is a 1-8. That's a liner, speared by Clendenin. And Helms just does get back to the bag. Jay, a C bunter. He's going to lay it down. That's an 8 on the C. And it's a successful sacrifice bunt by Jay. So that's going to go, we'll call it 1-6. Basically just staying out of the double play with a terrible hitting pitcher. Sacrifice hit Jay. So runner in scoring position and 2 down, and that'll bring up Tommy Harper. Harper 0 for 2 so far today. Here's the pitch. That's a 1-2. Tapper down to short. That's going to be Alley. Throws across, and that'll do it. No runs, no hits. And Luke Walker has 5 shutout innings. What do you know about that? That was not his major league debut, but it was pretty darn close. I think he came up the previous year, I want to say. Didn't pitch much. I'm trying to find it here. Luke Walker pitched 5 innings in 1965. This, however, was his first major league start. So that's kind of interesting. Only 10 innings. He missed the entire 1967 season for some reason. And then he established his presence with authority in 1968, the year of the pitcher. So we move along to the bottom of the 5th. Pirates leading 1-0. It'll be Clemente, Stargell, and Clendenin, the heart of the order. As Joey J gets set to go to work, the windup, the pitch to Roberto on a 4-7, and he walks him. So a walk issued to Clemente. He's the 13. Plus 5, 18. Held on 16. He's going to try for the lead. 4 or a 5. He does not get it. And that'll bring up Pops with the runner held on. Jay from the stretch. That's a 3-5. Struck him out. A vicious golf swing by Pops, and down he goes. Starchel's 0 for 3. Clemente still held on first, and here's Clendenin now. Clendenin 0 for 1 with a walk. Jay comes set from the stretch. That's going to be a 3-5 against the righty. That's a single with a 2-base advance. So Clendenin rips one into right. Clemente will go all the way to third on that. And the Pirates have runners at the corners and one down. And Cincinnati's going to get somebody loose. Ted Davidson will begin warming in the Reds pen. And right now it's Pete Rose, the switch hitter. No, it's not Pete Rose. It's, good gravy. It's Mazeroski, the righty. Runners at the corners, one down. What are we doing with Clendenin? Clendenin and Astrick, he'll have to be held. So there's no possible way they can bring the infield in because they've got to hold Clendenin. He's not going to try for it just yet. They're going to let Mazeroski hit. First and third, one out with the runner held. And here's Jay's pitch. On a 3-5. That's a grounder to short. That's going to be Cardenas. Flips to Helms to Perez. Double play. And Jay gets out of it. 3-5. Ground ball to shortstop A. Wow. This is not the way I predicted this game to go at all. No runs, a hit. They leave a man. After 5 complete, it's Pirates 1, Reds nothing. In a stunning pitching duel between two very unlikely starting pitchers. You just never know with this game. Well, you see great pitching cards get lit up, and then you see something like this. So Walker, if anybody here would have bet that Walker would be entering his 6th inning of work, I'd have taken your money. And here's Walker. He's going to face Rose, Pinson, and Perez. Of course, as it turned out, you would have taken mine. Rose batting righty. Walker. The windup in the pitch on a 2-10, and Rose taps it down to third base. That's going to be Bailey. He throws him out. One down, and here's Pinson. Pinson 0 for 1. Walked and K'd. Lefty on lefty as Walker winds and delivers. On a 3-4. That's a high fly ball to right field. Bat goes Clemente. It's off the wall. Pinson into second with a double. Let's take another look at that. 3-4. Homer to 6. The roll is an 18. And Veda Pinson has a one-out double. So the tying run in scoring position. And here's Tony Perez. And the question is, how long do we go with Walker? Any input from Pittsburgh fans will be taken into consideration here. He's pitching a shutout, so he's going to pitch to Perez. And here's the pitch on a 3-5. Struck him out. Walker fans Perez. And it's up to Darren Johnson. Runner on second, 2 down. Here's DJ, 0 for 1 with a walk as Walker winds and deals on a 2-5. Tapper down to second. Mazeroski, forget about it. That'll end the inning. No runs, a hit, a man left. And Luke Walker has 6 scoreless innings. And Pittsburgh leads 1-0 as we move along to the bottom of the 6th. I hear you, Ron. This is nuts. All I can say is Strat-O-Matic. Fucking A. Right? I'm not sure I'm supposed to say that on YouTube or not. I might get bleeped or something. Anyway, we'll see. I don't do it very often. Here's Bailey. John Jay ready to work to him. 6-5 to the right-hander. That's a tapper down to third. Rose has it. Throws Bailey out. So So Bailey grounds out to his opposite number, and here's Pagliarone. Pagliarone 1 for 2 today. Jay into the windup. Here's the pitch, a 5-10 to the left, to the righty. I'm sorry, a 5-10 to the righty is a grounder to shortstop X. That is Cardenas, slick fielding Cardenas, a 2E16, and here is the play. On a 10, that's the error range. So on a 16, we've got a roll of a 7. Cardenas gobbles that up and throws him out. 6-3X, 2 up, 2 down, and here's Walker. I'm going to let Walker bat. He's pitching a damn shutout. He's a left-handed hitter. Here's the pitch on a 6-6, and he walks him. Jay walks Walker, or Walker walks. Take your pick. 2 out, walk to Walker. And here's Alou. Alou 1 for 3. Jay from the stretch. The pitch to Matty, a 4-5. It's a grounder to second base. Helms has it cleanly and throws him out. And what do you know about that? No runs, no hits, 1 left. After 6 complete, it's 1-0 Pittsburgh. 2 also ran pitchers, locked up in a hell of a duel. I'm at the point now where I hate to take either one of them out, to be quite honest with you. My first thought was either of these guys are going to be yanked at the first sign of trouble. But shit, I can't now. Walker in the top of the 7th will face Cardenas, Helms, and Edwards. I'm going to take a minute. Have a sip of tea. Okay, Walker's ready to go. Cardenas steps in from the right side. He's 0 for 2 today. The windup. Here's the pitch on a 6-9 to the right-hander, and he walks him, ball 4. And you can see there are a lot of walks on that card, especially against righties. Cardenas and asterisk 16 will have to be held on. That makes him a 20. Held on an 18. He's going to try for it. 4 or a 6 is what he needs. No dice. No good lead. Helms will hit away. Here's the pitch from the stretch. That is a 6-9, and he walks him. And here comes Harry Walker, and he's seen enough. And normally, you guys know, I do not take out a pitcher pitching a shutout. But I think the writing is clearly on the wall here. Now, if any Pirate fans want him to face Edwards, I'll take that into consideration. But I think it's time for Pete Mickelson. Anyone? Anyone? No, we're going to the pen. So Walker, magnificent. Whatever happens, you got to give a lot of credit here to Luke Walker. In his first major league start, he holds the Reds scoreless through 6. He only gave up 2 hits. He did walk 4 and hit another guy. Struck out 4. The runner on first is his responsibility. Here's Mickelson now, a right-hander. .07 in 126 innings of relief, 14 saves. This will also make the scorecard a little easier to see without the giant Walker out there. First and second, nobody out. It's Johnny Edwards, the left-handed hitting catcher. As Mickelson from the stretch is ready to go now, and here's his pitch to Edwards. On a 5-7, it's a grounder to second base X. That's Bill Mazeroski. A 1E8. It says double play written all over it. On a 7, sure enough, Maz makes a double play that only a 1 second baseman could make. 4-6-3. A web jam by Bill Mazeroski. Cardenas will take third on the play, but there's 2 away. And trailing by a run with a runner on third, now the Reds are going to have to pinch hit for Joey J. So Jay went 6 innings, allowed 5 hits. He did a nice job too. He only gave up the 1 run. He walked 3, 4, he walked a few. He walked 6. So Jay was wild. Wilder than Walker. 10 walks between them. Struck out 2, 3, 3. So Cincinnati will need a new pitcher. That was Davidson warming. He'll be coming on. And they'll need a batter. Facing Mickelson, Leo Cardenas standing at third base with 2 down. And Art Shamsky is going to be the batter. So Shamsky pinch hitting for Jay. Trying to pick up the tying run with 2 down. Mickelson into his windup now. The pitch to Shamsky on a 1-6. It's a high fly ball to right field. Clemente, just shy of the track, makes the catch. A 1-6, homer to 6. The roll is a 12. And the Pirate fans let out a big sigh of relief. No runs, no hits. There were a pair of walks, a double play. Mickelson gets out of the jam, and it's still 1-0 Pittsburgh. Here's Davidson now. He's coming on to pitch for the Reds. Ted Davidson, a lefty, 3.9 ERA in 85 innings of work. He had 4 saves in real life. Alley, Clemente, and Stargell due up. Here's Gene Alley now, 0 for 2 with a walk. Davidson gets the sign from Edwards. Here's the pitch, a 6-8 to the righty. That's going to be into right field, and that's going to get down and to the wall on a 3. Gene Alley is going to stretch that to a double. So a leadoff double for Gene Alley. The Pirates looking for some insurance here in the bottom of the 7th. And boy, do they have the guys up to do it. Clemente comes to the plate with Willie Stargell on deck. Don Clendenin in the hole. Davidson winds and deals to Roberto. On a 6-5, a grounder to shortstop X. That's Cardenas. Slick fielding Cardenas, a 2E16. And here is the play. On an 11, that goes to the error frequency. The roll is an 8. He makes the play, and the runner has to hold. So 6-3, Clemente thrown out. Alley holds. There's 1 down, and here's Pops. Pops 0 for 3 today. Lefty on lefty now as Davidson comes set. Here's the pitch to Pops on a 2-9. Swung on and missed strike 3. And Stargell's down on K's for the 2nd time. And it's up to Clendenin. Runner still at second. A leadoff double by Alley. He's still standing there with 2 down as Davidson delivers to Clendenin on a 1-8. Single to 3, but that's going to be a grounder fielded by Perez, who will take it to the bag. And that retires the side. So they strand Alley on the leadoff double. No runs to hit, a man left. After 7 complete, it's Pittsburgh 1, Cincinnati 0. What a game. Holy crap. With Harper, Rose, and Pinson due. Mickelson will start the inning. Woody Fryman and Roy Face begin loosening in the Pittsburgh pen. If anybody gets on, you may see a move here. Top of the lineup for Cincinnati, top of the order, Harper, Rose, and Pinson. Mickelson ready to work now. Top of the 8th inning. Does Pittsburgh want to do anything on defense? Third base is a little shaky. On the other hand, he's due to bat second in the bottom of the 8th. And they don't really have anybody better. They could put Jose Pagan at third base. That's just a thought, just thinking out loud. No, they'll stick with what they've got. Mickelson winds, and here is the pitch to Tommy Harper on a 1-8 against the righty. He struck him out. So Mickelson's looking pretty good out there. He's going to go ahead and face Rose, the switch-hitting Rose. We'll turn around and bat left-handed against Mickelson. Mickelson, the windup. Pitch to Pete is a 4-4 to the lefty. That's center field X. That's going to be Matty Alou. He's a 2-11. Alou ranging to the gap. Here's the play on an 8. And Alou runs it down. Fine play by Matty Alou. And there's 2 down, and that'll bring up Pinson. And Mickelson's ready to work now. The windup. Here's the pitch to Veda, a 4-11 against the lefty, and that's a base hit the opposite way. Single for Pinson. Now let's check the hole. Mickelson is 0. Pagliarone is 0. Pinson an asterisk 15. He'll have to be held on. That'll make him a 13. He is the tying run. Would the Reds try to gamble and steal with 2 outs? No, they're going to let Perez hit away. Tony Perez. Johnson on deck. Perez that year. I'm going to look at something here. I don't think Perez is... This is the very young Tony Perez, not established yet. Yeah, he's awful against right-handed pitching, so we got to give the Reds a chance. They're going to flip it with their other first baseman. Gordy Coleman is going to come on to pinch hit for Perez. He played in this game in real life. As did Shamsky, who pinch hit for the pitcher. So Gordy Coleman will come on, and he'll stay in the game and play first, where he's a 4-E-24. With Darren Johnson on deck, they're going to stick with Mickelson. From the stretch, here's Mickelson's pitch to Gordy Coleman. On a 1-3, a tapper down to second. Mazeroski, routine play. You don't get anything past Maz, and that retires the side. No runs to hit, they leave him in. Coleman, as mentioned, stays in the game at first base. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. And let's make sure I make it clear that that was Coleman's at bat, not Perez's. Okay, that looks good. Mazeroski, Bailey, and Pagliarone due for Pittsburgh. They might want to get a righty up. They don't really have anybody. That's the problem with them. Well, they've got Nottavart, but he's worked quite a bit lately. They've got their closer, McCool. Or it's Balshin, and Balshin was terrible that year. They might as well just stick with Davidson. They could go to... No, they can't go to Ellis because he's due to start this series. So it'll be Davidson. Here's Mazeroski to lead things off. Davidson, the sign from Edwards. The pitch to Maz is a 6-9 against the righty. That's a tapper down to first. That's Coleman now. Flips to Davidson covering. And there's one down. That'll bring up Bob Bailey. Bailey's walked twice, bounced to third his last at bat. In fact, Bailey scored the only run of the ball game when he walked to lead off the second. Davidson's pitch is a 2-10, a tapper down to short. That's Cardenas. Scoops it up, throws across, and there's two away. And here's Pagliarone, the catcher. 1 for 3 today. Davidson. The wind up and the pitch. It's a 4-8 to the righty. Swung on and missed strike 3. And Davidson's been good for 2 innings. He gave up the leadoff double to Alley, and now he's retired 6 straight. Pirates are going to make that defensive change. Now that Bailey's already batted, Jose Pagan's going to come in and take over at third, where he's a 3.25. Slight improvement. So Jose Pagan for defense coming on to play third. Bailey's out of the game. And in the 9th inning, Pittsburgh's they're not screwing around. They're going to the big gun right here. You guys know who that is. Roy Face. You betcha. 2.70, 18 saves. Face, the stopper in the Pittsburgh pen for many years in this era. Johnson, Cardenas, and Helms due up. For Mickelson, he pitched 2 very nice innings himself. He only gave up 1 hit, struck out 1, didn't walk a batter. But it'll be Roy Face in the 9th. Tension mounts here in Pittsburgh. This is Forbes Field still, by the way, for those that don't know. Old Forbes Field, very much a pitcher's ballpark. Making, if you look up like Ralph Kiner's years, oh my God, if you look at the ballpark that he put those numbers up in, are you kidding me? It makes it all the more impressive, but I digress. But here's Johnson now to lead it off for the Reds. They're down by a run. Top of the 9th. Roy Face ready to shut things down. Here's the pitch to Johnson. A 3-8. Fly to center playable. Alou drifting over. He's got it. There's one down. Fans on their feet now as Leo Cardenas comes to bat. Face gets his sign from Pagliarone. The windup. The pitch to Leo, a 4-4, fly to center, shallow. Alou coming in, still charging, and he's there. And there's 2 out, and it's all up to Tommy Helms. Helms 1 for 1, a single, a walk, and was hit by a pitch in the 5th as Face gets the sign from Pagliarone. The windup. The pitch to Tommy Helms on a 6-3. Helms, a base hit to the left side and through into left field, and the tying run is aboard with 2 down. A base hit for Tommy Helms. 6-3 righty, yes indeed it is. Helms, no threat to steal. Edwards, a left-handed hitter. We're looking at the Reds bench now. They also used Lee May as a pinch hitter. They used Simpson. They've got Ruiz. I'm not seeing anything any better. They could go Lee May, I guess. Edwards. Yeah, they need a better hitter than Edwards. We're going to put a little more drama into the situation. Edwards is going to yield to Lee May, the pinch hitter. Let's take a look at May's numbers on the year. 333 and 75 at bats, 2 home runs. So this is the youngster Lee May as well. That's right, because Gordy Coleman was the first baseman. And this is about the time he started getting pressed for playing time. By Lee May and Tony Perez, who were youngsters coming up. And that's basically, Coleman could not compete with that. Anyway, back to this one. Helms on first, not held. There's 2 down. Lee May, the batter. Here's the pitch from face. On a 2-8. Pop up left side. That's going to do it. Gene Alley's right there waiting for it. And how about that? A 1-0 ball game. No runs, a hit, a man left, and the Pirates in a nail-biter. 1-0. Holy cow. And Bob says, that's why we play the game, LOL. I would have taken the over and the Pirates to cover. Yeah, no shit. I thought this would be a 11-8 something or other. 9-7. You know what I mean? Wow. Wow. So you've got Walker in his major league debut gets the win. Face gets the save. 1 inning, 1 hit. Davidson was good for Cincinnati. Only 1 hit. He K'd 2, didn't walk anybody. For the Pirates, 1 run on 6 hits. They made an error. The Reds, no runs on only 4 hits and no errors. Let's see if I've got any records. I'm sure I do. Let's see what records I have on these pitchers. Face, for Roy Face, that's his 3rd save. And he is the first pitcher in either league to 3. So now he would have made the leaders if I had done it today. A lot of pitchers had 2. For Walker, obviously, his first win. Joey J, the hard luck loser. He's 0-1. No home runs in the ball game. And there's still 10 people in the chat room. And the entire 7,500 that came to Pittsburgh that day are still in the ballpark buzzing. They can't get over this one. What a game. This is the game of the week. The player of the game, boy, you could go a lot of ways with this. But I'm inclined to give it to Walker. Nobody in the ballpark expected Walker to pitch 6 scoreless innings. Holy cow, what a ball game. The Pirates moved to 5-1, which puts them in a 3-way tie with the Dodgers and the Giants, all 3 just a half a game behind the Phillies. And again, it's very, very early, very early. So that concludes the only 2 games of April 18th. Tomorrow we're going to move to Tuesday, April 19th on the schedule. The first game on the slate will be the Washington Senators at the Baltimore Orioles. That'll be 2:15 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you so much for watching this one. God, I'm glad some of you guys saw this. What a game. It means a lot to me that you guys were here to witness this with me. What a fun game. Oh my God. I can't get over this. I don't even want to sign off. Wow. Who had the only ribby? Matty Alou on a ground out to first had the game's only run batted in. A walk to Bailey. Pagliarone singled into third and then was forced by Walker. Alou grounded to first to drive in the only run. Stole second, and then Alley struck out. And that's it. Wow. Well, there's not much more I can add to that. The game speaks for itself. I just want to thank you guys again for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe for me if you enjoyed that. And hell, who couldn't enjoy that? And I'll see you tomorrow around 2:15. You guys have a wonderful evening. Take care.